Okay, we'll start the clock. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Peter.
Hello.
Good morning, Peter.
Yeah.
Right, okay, we're live today on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, and we'll be with you in 45 seconds. So everybody who's on Royston Radio, good morning. And hopefully you are listening to this episode. Well, say hopefully. Somebody must be, otherwise Fonz wouldn't play it every week. So we do thank you for listening in. Okay. Not sure what we're going to talk about this week, but we are going to celebrate the fact that last week was show 400 because none of us were in the mood for celebration last week. This week we are. So we're going to celebrate the fact that we've been doing this now for 8 years.
Your volume keeps coming and going, Stephen.
You've just took the words out of Stephen. You're going in and out.
Okay, just give me a second then. Take that off. Hide that. And guys, it's over to you.
Right.
Is it cold in the garage today?
Well, it's cold from my house to the garage, but it's still chilly. I can never get it right. But I'll tell you what, I was looking at the cost of, I think I'm up on Facebook, how much it costs you to run something for an 8-hour day. And if I kept this on 8 hours a day, guess how much it costs? £32 by the end of the week.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. So I don't know what best to put in to get heating out here, you know.
A thicker coat. A thicker coat.
You get infrared ones seemingly, but it'll only heat you for that time. Then as soon as it goes off, it doesn't stay in the air. Yeah. So,
Right. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Yeah,
You sound great.
Is that better?
Yeah.
In that case, I'll come on screen. Okay, I've switched microphones. There's something wrong with the Blue Yeti. Don't know what it is.
I'm trying to get my lighting right.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, morning, welcome. This is Blabbing for Britain, episode 110. Sorry, no, where did that come from? Welcome to the show. This is Blabbing for Britain, episode 401. I'm going to slow down and say an official hello to everybody who's watching and listening, and good to be back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did your trip to the dentist go yesterday?
Incredibly smoothly. I mean, basically, when the dentist rings you and says, right, well, tells you that you need 2 extractions, your heart sinks, and you think, okay. Now, a couple of 6 weeks ago, I was due to have it, and they decided not to. So I wasn't really looking forward to it. But the operation itself, simple and straightforward, just 20 minutes in the chair, and no after effects really. So I'm back. I'll never be normal, but I'm back in terms of just being, I suppose. I'm grateful to a brilliant dentist who made it painless, very professional, and their assistant as well. And just keep taking the salt water at the moment. That's the latest thing. I haven't had any extractions since I was, about 14 years ago when I used to live in Henley. Yeah. So how are you both now this week?
Well, I'm a lot better than I was last week. I was singing on Saturday and I was still ill, you know.
Yeah.
It was horrible, but I got through it. It's great to get up and, well, I'm not, to breathe normally. You know what I mean? Just something's gone and you feel great, you know?
Yeah, it never amazes me. You just wake up one morning and it's gone.
Yeah.
Gone. And you realise how good it feels to be without any illnesses. Or without any illnesses affect the way you act on a daily basis. Yeah. Yeah. So whilst we're not fighting fit, because John, you've got a problem with your toe?
Yes. I've hurt my toe because I was continuously getting up and down off my feet to get to the underneath of the dishwasher yesterday. And I think I put so much pressure on my right foot and the ball of the foot and the toe that last night the toe was throbbing the entire night.
Mm.
Height of excitement, isn't it? You know, dishwasher repairs.
Wait, guys, does my picture look too bright?
No, looks all right to me.
It's fine.
Okay, that's fine. Just looks bright to me, that's all. Okay, right, now, do you know what I was listening? Was it this morning or last night? I can't remember. This morning, I think it was in the early hours. What's happening at Stonehenge?
What's happening where?
At Stonehenge.
Well, if the protesters have their way, nothing. If the Department of Transport or Environment or whichever department it is have their way, there'll be a 2-mile tunnel.
And where's the tunnel for? What is it for?
There's a basic problem with the A303, which is the road that goes past Stonehenge. It's basically single lane, and this is a main route through Wiltshire.
Yeah.
And the traffic just builds up, and the traffic builds up because of the volume of the traffic. But the second reason is that people slow down.
Yeah.
And people slow down because they've got a brilliant view of Stonehenge. It's one of the best places to go. If you want to look at Stonehenge and you don't want to pay, you actually would walk along that road. So the government have decided that what they should do is for that stretch that goes past Stonehenge, they should actually go underground.
What a heated debate. There was a druid. Is that them? A druid?
Druids, yeah. There's all sorts of protesters involved, Peter.
Another lady, I can't remember, she was for the road up at the tunnel, and that was a big fight. I've actually been on the 303 with my lorry.
Yeah.
So I know, and I'm stuck out there in the middle of the night. And because Middle Wallop's in that area, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, Stonehenge is one of the wonders of the world. It is a World Heritage Site. But the people who administer the World Heritage Site have said if you put a tunnel there, and you spoil it, you won't be a World Heritage Site anymore.
Is that what they said? And there's all dead bodies under it. People.
Well, the whole thing about Stonehenge is at the centre of a great area which was in use.
Why can't they turn it into a dual carriageway instead?
Sorry?
Why can't they turn it into a dual carriageway?
Because that would double the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, what you don't want, they don't want people going close to Stonehenge by car.
Okay, so what's the main consensus then?
Oh, the government have said, let's do it. All the inquiries that have been up to now have said, let's do it. The people who are saying we don't want you to do it are unfortunately not of sufficient stature to stop it.
What's your view on it?
My view, I want it to stay a World Heritage Centre. I think that my view is that we should have the tunnel because it's not going close to Stonehenge.
Right.
Yeah? It's not going to affect the henge itself. It's not as if they're going to start drilling underground and Stonehenge will fall over. They are far enough away not to have any effect whatsoever on Stonehenge. Okay. But the area is an area of outstanding beauty and interest. And obviously, at some point in time, the place that the road's going, there have been burials and, sacred ground.
The thing is, how's the problem with society? My city's changed, right? My city has definitely changed. If we left everything as it was as a society, we'd never move on. We'd still be going right and we'd be lighting candles at night in the streets using gas lamps. And you've sometimes got to move on. I mean, our Union Terrace Gardens here, that was uproar. Leave it as it is. But nobody's using it. Right? So they changed it. And it's actually looking very good.
Yeah.
I mean, I was. They've got the big Aberdeen sign in it just now, and somebody took a picture of it shining. Unfortunately, they've put the Palestine colours on the HMT, and I don't think public buildings and stuff like that should be used because you'll upset your population. If 50% are for it, or 50% again, you've immediately upset your population. Let's keep flags, and there should only be one flag flying in the United Kingdom, and that is
The Welsh flag.
the Union flag.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
You know, I know that, but we've got the Scottish flag isn't the UK flag isn't flying in Britain in Scotland. You know what?
No.
You know what is
Saltire.
the Palestinian one.
Oh, blimey. Right. Okay.
So this is because of Humza.
Mm.
Boy, is that guy in trouble just now, big time. And but we've got to talk about Rishi Sunak and the vote.
This is becoming okay. I'll go first. This is a soap opera. I mean, if you were doing Yes Minister,
Yeah,
at the moment, I mean, this is far beyond Yes Minister. This is the worst of politics because you've now got the five families, which is a name that's stuck, who don't believe in anything. They've nothing in common, and they just want their own way, and they don't give a toss about anybody outside Parliament. They just want their own way because they're all saying the same thing. This is what the people want.
Yeah,
and they can't all be right. I think it's. You remember Brian Ricks?
yeah, I remember that name.
Yeah, it's a farce.
Yeah, it's a farce.
What do you think, Pete?
Well, as you know, I was a true blue, but not any. As I told you, not anymore. Do you know I've actually written to UK Reform,
Mm-hmm.
and I still await a reply.
Yeah.
No, they're either getting inundated or as it hasn't got through. I just wanted to see what they say. But the problem we've got, how could you vote for the Conservative Party as they are today because they've got a split, right?
Yeah.
How could you vote for Labour at the moment because they've got a split? I don't know what's happening with the Liberals. Are they still there?
They're still here. Yeah.
The SNP, I don't think there'll be a party shortly. I think they'll finish shortly because they've got no money coming in for their own party. There's also problems at the moment with the new party, Alva. It's not called Alba, it's Alpa or something like that.
Okay.
They had elections for the NEC as people questioning how come it wasn't open? How come you had to pay to go to a conference before you could vote? Things like that are happening, and it's like a whole bunch of mafia crime lords. No matter what party it is at the moment, it's who's in charge. And I didn't know this, but a guy called Doogie Smith, who was it? Took it when Liz Truss came in.
Yeah.
She withdrew his card into Parliament because he's the man behind the Conservatives, seemingly on $100,000 a year. What he says goes, right?
Yeah.
And then she didn't let him into Parliament. As soon as Rishi Sunak got in, he got his pass back. And so the one to watch just now on Twitter and that, if you go on, is Nadine Norris. And everything she's got in her book is coming to fruition. The plot.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I'm afraid I've got Nadine marked down as weird. You know, I mean, I listen to some of the things she says. Anyway, we've got problems. Let's go to, if we get away from politics for a moment, health. For years, and obviously this affects us all. The situation is that before COVID, the number of people smoking in the UK was falling by 5% a year. Yeah. And the health department were happy with that progress. Now after COVID,
Mm-hmm.
the rate has dropped from 5.3% to 0.3%. So in other words, more people are smoking since COVID.
Well, you can see why that out of boredom. Probably more people are eating. They probably put on weight like me. Things have caused them. There's obviously a lot more drinking in the house.
Well, a lot more. I mean, COVID, you were at home, weren't you? You couldn't get out of the house. And what do you do when you're in the house all day, apart from get bored? One
Yeah.
of the things you can do is smoke.
Yeah, smoke and drink to get
Yeah.
past the day, and that's what's happened. Yeah, I could see people that were maybe smokers just I'll have a cigarette, I'll see
Yeah.
I'll have it. I might as well get 20 packets. I might as well just carry on for a while till this is over. Yeah.
So we can see a health campaign coming to actually discourage smoking again, and hopefully that will work. People should vape rather than smoke. There's if you type into Google, is vaping smoking? Do you know what the answer is? Well, I'll tell you. The answer is no. Vaping is not smoking because vaping is vape. It's not tobacco.
However,
but it's not. Yeah. Go on, Peter. Yeah.
However, I fear later on someone will say, "Have you got this because you vaped?" That's going to come. Mark my words.
Yeah. Down the road, possible. I mean, it's relatively new, and they know. I mean, the NHS recommend vaping. If you want to give up smoking, vape. So the NHS obviously are working in everyone's best interest, and at the moment they are recommending vaping, and you can get it on prescription, given the case.
The other thing is probably a problem is kids vaping. Because of the bubblegum flavours, the strawberry flavours. Why have they got those flavours? You know, that's probably happening too.
Well,
Yeah,
my wife has smoked ever since I met her until about 2 years ago when she changed to vaping.
Yeah.
And now we get these strange smells of of the vapes, but hey, she seems better for it, so
yeah.
being
Well,
given up smoking.
It doesn't affect your health as much as smoking does.
Yeah.
We can say that.
I'll tell you another thing that gets to me is, have you ever smelled the taste of weed? The smell of weed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I pass someone who's been smoking weed, my lips become tingly. Sometimes I become sneezy. How on earth they could take that stuff is unbelievable as a smoke, because it just ruins my day.
Well,
And my lips are sore and everything.
as you know, I'm quite involved with the allotments.
Yeah.
Parallel with the allotment entrance and the first 50 yards is a garage. Yeah. Very nice people, by the way. Very helpful. I had a puncher and they came out and helped me change the wheel as was going out. But God, constantly it drifts over from the garage. Yeah. And we get complaints about the smell of weed. There's nothing we can do about it, but it's just one of those things. But he's a really nice guy. But he's got 5 young lads that work in there for him, and it's them that smoke the weed.
Yeah. The police not interested?
No.
Sorry, Peter. I wanted to make you smile.
They probably supply them. Oh, let me tell you about someone I seen yesterday. Well, I don't know if it was actually yesterday. Kimmy Badenoch, right? They were having a committee where you sit round and you get questioned.
Yeah.
This woman, Labour woman, called her. She said this, and this. And Kimmy Badenoch said that you're a liar. And then the Conservative chairperson said, Noak said, you can't use language like this. She says, she's calling me a liar. And she says, right, That information you said, where did you get it and when was it put out? When did you get it and when was it put out? I've never said it. Back it up with truth. And she couldn't do it. So where did you get it that you can see it? No, you know I've made mistakes and said this and I say it right. And she says, you need to tell me where you got that. And this is the problem. She says, that's the problem. Everybody's saying, because they've seen a bit on the internet or something like that. Like Nigel Farage in the jungle, that Nella said, he says, where did you hear all this about me? Oh, in the end. Oh, he says, you heard it in the internet. Oh, that's the end of it then. It must be true.
No, the internet is far from true. We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a version of the truth, but it's not the real truth.
Incidentally, did you know how much percentage that he went up by? His popularity has went screaming high since he went on to the jungle. Did you know that?
It would have been high if he stayed there as well, Peter.
Oh, he did stay there. He was there till he got third place, which he done very well.
Yeah.
And I was also mentioned that some people couldn't get to vote for him on their app.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing he said when he came out, he says, right, ITV, you try to stitch me up. People that work for you try to stitch me up. If you want a battle, he says, it didn't work too well for the lady at the Royal Bank or whoever it was. He says, I'm willing to take you. He says, draw a line in it now, or he says, I'll take you on. And it'll cost you a lot of share points.
Mm.
His popularity went higher than Rishi Sunak. They failed miserably in destroying him. They thought they would have a good laugh at Nigel. He took the task. I don't know if you probably watched. You probably didn't. I just watched it for that. And he ripped him apart. You lay in a box with 20 snakes in him. How are you feeling, Nigel? He says, I'm back in the European Parliament. I thought it was great.
Mm. He's got a good sense of humour, but he's we're all different. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, his popularity was went up because they've seen the real Nigel Farage in there, the human Nigel Farage, not the one that he's been seen as.
Mm. Yeah. Did you watch any of it, John?
No, not a single second.
I can say no as well.
Yeah, I don't usually watch it, but I just wanted to see what they do to try and stitch him up. But he stitched them up. He took £1.5 million off him for a start.
Well, yeah, he did.
They were begging him to go on. He refused. No. Begging him. 1.5 million to ridicule them.
But the thing is, it's like any series. It's jumped the shark. Because the number of people watching now is just falling year on year.
Yeah, because it's a failing project. You don't do Big Brother anymore. It's failed. It's past its time. It's gone.
That's it.
Finito. Nobody's interested in it. They're moving on to new things. I don't know what they're moving on to. It's the youngsters' TV now. It's
difficult to find out where the youngsters are. Are they on TikTok?
Very much so. I'm on TikTok more. I told you. And as I say, it's not for what you think it is, dancing and stuff like that. Although I did put one. Did you see it on Facebook, guys? Did you see me putting it up? It's me dancing with a face in a Christmas tree. And but you've got to go into TikTok to see it because it's a link to it. But no, the youngsters, I'll tell you, I'll tell you what there's a lot of in TikTok at the moment. There's Jewish people talking with Arab people live. You can go on live, just like us now. And you've got truck drivers that are driving in a lonely road at night.
Yeah.
And he'll say, I can't answer you, but you can bring your voice on screen and speak to you.
Okay.
Right? And where are you off to, John? Oh, I'm heading up for Montrose now, and I was staying there for the night. And where's that you're passing now? And I was watching a guy in London picking up bins all night on his own, trade waste. And it was great. I said, what part of London you in now? And he would say this and that. And I thought it was brilliant. You see, there's lots more than you think. There's education and history. It's very, very good.
Well, that links nicely into what's happening in Gaza at the moment.
Right.
Peter, what do you think is happening on the ground?
Unfortunately, because I'm seeing there's about 115 Israeli soldiers killed recently, and the reason for it is they're being too cautious and being seen to do the right thing. So you imagine you've got an enemy with a pillbox with machine guns in it, right? Instead of taking a big rocket propelled grenade and knocking it out, they're putting the troops forward like they did in D-Day. And unfortunately, a lot of Israeli lives trying not hitting them with a hammer. You should hit them with a hammer, then move in. But they're so terrified of doing something wrong and unfortunately killing a local. But they've captured a lot of the Hamas. They're coming out of the tunnels and surrendering. People said, but it's civvies. Do you know there's not one woman amongst them that I can see? Not one.
No.
That's been captured and surrendered. No woman. Oh, the civvies. Where's the woman? And they've all the same issued underpants because they've got them in underpants. And the reason they've got them underpants is because they're known to carry suicide bombs. Strip off your clothes, get on that corner, move, we'll shoot you.
Yeah, but
that's my take on it. There's an information going. It's who wins the information battle is going to win this in the end.
Well, I think the United States is going to win this in the end because Israel has got to do at the end of the day what the United States do, and Joe Biden has been saying you've every right for retribution, but you should be mindful of the citizens, which is putting it mildly. And he's now saying, okay, enough is enough, and apparently he's given them to the end of the year before they have to stop.
Well, what a lot of people are saying, did you stop in Iraq? Did you stop in Afghanistan? Did you drop leaflets first, then go in? And then Piers Morgan was arguing with a guy. He says, what about all the people that was killed in Germany by the British? He says, what about that? He says, I know. He says, it had to be done, and it has to be done. The Gazanians have had enough information to get out of that battle area. They've been told, get out.
But where to, Peter? It's okay telling them to get out, but where are they actually going to go to? Because there aren't any safe areas to go to.
Fellow Arabs should open the door. Well, where they're going to go, right? They're going to go to the edge of the border, and we're going to pick them up and take them to Birmingham. That's where they're coming.
Well, that's okay by me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I drove through Birmingham yesterday because I went from one place to the other side. I went to Aston, which meant I had to go right through the city, except for the tiny bit round the ring road. And there are hundreds, not dozens, hundreds of Palestinian flags in the Birmingham area.
Yeah. Now, how many people are in your town, Stephen?
23,000.
23,000. How would you like another 23,000 to double it up, sharing your rooms and everything?
No, it's right.
Too much for you. Maybe about 15,000. How would you like that next door to you?
No,
hey, you're all right. They're all going to go to Scotland.
I know that.
Stephen and I are not going to have a problem. It's you that's going to have the problem.
Come to us. We'll take as many as we want, and that's why nobody's going to vote for
them. I mean, but basically, at some point there have to be negotiations. They're probably ongoing. We don't know about them, but it has to end. You can't just continue killing innocent people.
Well, they're not continue killing innocent people. Hamas is doing it, and do you know what? Their brave leaders are doing it right now. They're all getting out of Qatar. They've had their fine big meal together, massive meal. You've seen a picture of them all, gluttony, lovely, beautiful magic rings, jumping into transport, and they've skedaddled, talk about going to Algeria and places because Mossad seemingly went to Qatar and said, and Qatar have told them, well, no, they went to there and they said, we're after these guys. And Qatar has said to them, we can't protect you. So they've left, they're gone.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Gaza to take up their arms and fight with our men at the front. They'll disappear. All the money. Oh,
Down.
how much of our guys have been killed today?
No, I mean, the thing is, I look at the majority of people rather than minority, and the majority of people are getting killed in Gaza at the moment are natives to the area.
Who's that from, Stephen?
Israelis.
The Israelis are saying that's how many they've killed.
So, sorry, Peter. Let's go with the supposition. Nobody in Gaza is getting killed by the Israelis. The Israelis are not bombing. The Israelis are not shooting.
No, I didn't say that. Who's giving you official figures? Is it the Hamas?
The thing is, we're not allowed to believe the figure from Hamas because it's from Hamas.
Correct. But did you know they don't even know the full numbers for the raid on the 7th October from Israel? There's still more bodies to find. They can't give you a figure.
Do we think it's a good idea to kill civilians?
Of course it's not.
Right. Okay. End of. That's it.
Look, in hindsight, we went over to Germany and bombed the hell out of them. Why?
It's not
Why?
It's not a like-for-like comparison, is it? That's lemons and apples, isn't it, Peter?
No. You're wrong. You're wrong. Israel has done, as I say, they're sacrificing some soldiers just now because they're trying to do it as surgically as they can, putting their men and women on foot into the ground so they're not using strikes all the time that may kill innocent people.
Okay, I'm following it from an American perspective, Peter, and Joe Biden and Secretary are actually saying enough is enough, which is what I said sort of 10 weeks ago.
Do you know what some people are saying to Joe Biden?
We're impeaching you.
Well, they're impeaching him, but know what a lot of people in America are saying to Joe Biden? Enough is enough, you're right, of our money going to the Ukraine.
That's true. That's the step, yeah.
He's not stopping that. People are dying every day. Do you think civilians are getting killed in the Ukraine and Russia borders just now?
Right.
Are they? No, come on, guys. Do you think?
I'm not.
Children, there'll be grannies, there'll be people who refuse to. The other getting killed right now. Where's the figures? Where's the figure?
We're not given.
Biden's pumping the money in. They need more money.
We're not given figures for the simple reason.
How come you can get it from? How come you can get it from Palestine, but you can't get it from Ukraine and Russia?
Because if we really knew how many people were dying, then we wouldn't support either side.
That's why we can't get the Palestine numbers right, because I don't believe them. I wouldn't have believed them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have trusted them. How could I give an analogy of them? What could you not trust them with? Would you give them a gold bar to keep for you?
I would. I basically, given that the both Hamas and Israel have they want to destroy each other totally and wipe each other off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Somebody has to referee, Peter.
And who's the referee? Get the Russians in the referee.
It's not us. It's not the British. We're not involved at that level, as far as I know, because we don't know everything. But the Americans and the countries neighbouring Israel and Gaza are involved.
So why can't they go on and put troops with red helmets on or something saying we are an Arab nation or whatever, and we're here to keep the peace and make a buffer zone between the two bits? Why can't they do that?
You've got stop one side firing rockets, the other side dropping bombs, and making sure that if anybody goes in, they're okay.
Only because one side is dropping rockets, and they said, well, if you're dropping rockets, we're going to bomb you back. So why can't they get a peacekeeping force from Jordan, from Egypt, from all the Arab states and put them in, along with some other countries that want to put their troops in, like Japan or something like that, completely out of it to keep the peace. So it's a mixed organisation, making sure everything's okay. Why can't they do that?
I don't
Because
know. I'm with
The
you on doing it.
Israelis don't want that. I think it's time we found a new topic because this is just getting to be a disagreement and not a
Right,
discussion.
We're not going to
Leave that to
agree.
you then. We'll leave that to you then, John. Come on.
Okay. I just want to go back. There's basically, we know the Office of National Statistics basically produced statistics, and they produced information yesterday about the mortality rate since COVID.
Yeah.
And there are hundreds of people between the ages of 35 and 54 who weren't dying before. And obviously they need to investigate and find what the reason is. But it is sad to know that, because statistics, they can actually measure trends.
Yeah.
So they can see a number of excess deaths, as they call it. It's a very clinical term, isn't it?
Yeah.
And action needs to be taken, because you've got long COVID as well. You've got these extra deaths following COVID, which COVID must have triggered something.
Yeah.
And one of the things that came out of it is that the number of people dying from diabetes, of all things, Pete, is up 35%.
Yeah.
It's just...
Well, there are no people. I was one of them. I used to say, look, I'm vaxxed. I've got my vax, right? Now, a lot of people who are for the vax are now anti-vax because people in their families have died after getting it. My uncle's on the continent because of it.
Right.
And our doctors now apologising for forcing you to get it.
Point of order.
Yeah.
The excess deaths are not related to COVID.
Right.
They are from diseases we can all get. Yeah. And they're up.
Right. Now, see, during COVID, if you died, during COVID, and if they died of that diseases, do you know what they would have put it down to?
No.
COVID.
Yeah.
Because an undertaker brought it out. Everybody that came into his funeral parlour had COVID on their ticket, no matter what they died of. And he was a whistleblower. And but have you ever seen so many people on TV, young sportsmen dropping down dead as recently?
I've missed a lot, Peter.
I see it all the time. One of the channels I look, they've got a lot of video of people collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, not long after his COVID jab. Not long after the COVID jab. Bump, bump, bump,
Right.
bump, bump. And they're trying to...
The problem is it's too easy to blame the COVID jab. Yeah.
So why are so many people dying at that age recently? Heart attacks and infraction, cardiac.
Not looking after themselves.
There's no correlation.
A lot of these are fit sports people. It's scary. Why did the government say, oh, you can only get up to £120,000 if the vaccine kills you?
I don't know.
No, that's what they put a limit on it right away. They
Yeah.
put a limit on it right away. And a lot of people, as I said, that were even doctors, look, I'm one of them. I take the blame. I forced you to get this. Right? Now, what happened to a lot of people that were police?
I tell you what, Pete, we're not seeing this stuff in England. You might be seeing lots of this in Scotland, but we've not got this going on in.
Why aren't you seeing it, John?
We're not getting arguments about.
Well, no, we all watch different things, and that's the problem. Basically, we are okay. I'm blinkered by the Guardian, Peter.
You are. But I read the Guardian and I read other things. So I'm one of those that can look at life from both sides now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I see what I've always told you. You just think I sit and watch one channel. I watch loads of channels. I jump from Talk TV to Good Morning Britain to GB News. I chop and change all day. I'll read the Guardian. I'll read the Daily Mail. I'll read the local paper. I read things from America. I watch America, what's happening there. No, I do. I am truly global in what I watch. I'm not blinkered.
No.
Both sides.
Can't we find a happier topic to talk
No,
about?
to
Because
finish off.
all we've done is negative, 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 negative.
Right. Well, I've asked you, find something
John?
positive.
What have you got on your list, John?
Right. Let's go.
Dinosaurs.
Yes.
Bank of England introduced 3 new coins yesterday, all featuring dinosaurs, 50 pence pieces.
Are the old coins then?
They're new coins. You might be a dinosaur. Let's talk about football, but we're not going to talk about goals scored or anything. But there were 6 matches in the championship yesterday,
Mhm.
and of the 12 teams, 6 of them had the word City in their title, which really stood out. Because when you read the matches, they were all one after the other. And I just thought that was an unusual situation.
Okay.
And now I've got a complaint. I'm going to turn into Peter!
No, you don't have to.
Vitties have killed off the Fruit Club biscuit, and that was my favourite club biscuit. Oh,
Well,
Peter,
it's commerce, isn't it, John? If it doesn't sell, then it's gone.
has anybody looked at the FTSE 100 today?
No.
It's rocketed, Stephen. I mean, rocketed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the first hour of trading today, it was up 137 points.
What's the
just
trigger?
been going, up 2 points or down 2 points for weeks.
What's
I don't
trigger?
know why it's rocketed, but it has.
Is there a war going on somewhere?
I don't think it's to do with war. I think it's possibly a Christmas effect. I don't know. But yeah, so the FTSE 100 was up 137 points, which is big stuff.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the stock market is essential for companies to raise funds. But it is, as far as investing is concerned, it is a gamble. It's just like gambling because share prices can go up and down.
It affects our pensions, though, not our government pensions, but our personal pensions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a percentage of it is, well, depending on what sort of pension you chose, but a percentage of it will be in shares. So the share price will affect your pension bucket.
Mm. Right, Peter, why is Joe Biden being impeached? Or why is the inquiry started?
I know he has been. I think it's to do with his dealings over in Ukraine, isn't it?
It's to do with his son, yeah.
Well, he's got 9 charges against him just now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Basically, they've got all over. I mean, that I used to look up that country, but it's corrupt because the FBI have been infiltrated, and there's a lot going on. There's things that have been suppressed. Well, you've seen one of the biggest things recently was Elon Musk buying Twitter to show you how corrupt it was because all the files were there, and all the FBI people that left the FBI had an automatic entry into where? Twitter. They had their own stack. All people that used to work for FBI are something wrong there. Yeah. And they suppressed Donald Trump. Yeah. And that's what they've done, And there's a lot of people going back onto X. He's letting them all go.
I'm on Threads, Peter, and there's a lot of people going off X onto Threads.
Yeah, but what you've got is the battle between the likes of us. What's happening just now? There's a list of people that are supporting, for instance, Israel on Twitter. Okay,
mm-hmm.
And there's a list of people that are not supporting them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people say, oh, I'll buy from them now. Oh, I'll buy from them now. So you've got this split. So if a company's doing well on X and people are buying, he still gets his revenue. If they're not doing so, I mean, you know that Bud Light was the same. They lost billions because the people that needed to buy the beer were right of centre. And they said, take your Bud and stick it where the sun don't shine. And they never bought it again.
Well, when Twitter actually publish some more figures, we'll know whether the numbers are up or down. One, the numbers of advertisers, and two, the number of people who are actually on the site every day. I mean, just from personal experience, I do know that on Threads, the number of people active every day is increasing.
Of course, because that's where all the lefties go when they're beaten.
It's not. It's where all the lefties go to enjoy themselves. That's the difference. The difference is, okay, and I'm on radio, I know that, so I'm going to moderate my language. People, I'll tell you what I was going to say afterwards. People go to Twitter to find out the latest news, to meet their friends, and to argue.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
People go on Threads to find the latest news, to meet new people, and to enjoy it. I mean, the number of fantastic photographers are on there is absolutely amazing. You can follow a photographer and you can see everything they've done, especially UK. A lot of UK photographers who shoot the best of the UK, and there are beautiful pictures from Scotland, England, Ireland, and Wales, and they're all on Threads. And there's artwork, there's everything. It's the arty set are actually, and together with all the journalists from places like the Guardian, and the Times are on there. Steve Abel is on there, Peter.
Yeah, that wouldn't entice me over. You know, look, they went there for a mellow time. The same people, I've seen people saying, if you don't like what I say on Twitter, don't follow me anymore. He says, oh, I noticed you've not unfollowed me yet. He says, you're still watching what I'm doing. I know you are, and etc. But they've still, he says, they've got, see, here's Russell Brand. You know, he's having a problem just now. He's been kind of cancelled. So he plays him with their own. He goes on to YouTube and he says so much because they've demonetized him, right? So what he says so much. And if you want to know the real truth, follow him on Rumble, right? Then he'll tell you what he really wants to say. And there's a lot of people like that. Mr. TR, as you know who that is, he's won 2 cases in the court recently. He got banned from going to Luton Football Club. He got that ban overturned by the police. The policeman spotted him. And then there was another one where, again, he won. It's cost him a lot of money, but he won that case as well. But you won't get to know that, because you'll never see that. It will never be in the paper. And you know, Mr. Uncensored, Piers Morgan, last time he was on, he slaughtered him. And everybody says to Piers, why don't you get Mr. TR back on? And you won't do it. Do you know why? Because he'll have met his match, just like Jeremy Paxman did. And when Jeremy Paxman finished the show, he says to him, boy, you've certainly stood up for yourself, sort of thing.
I say good morning to Mpanga. My screen is froze, so yeah, my whole computer's frozen, I think. Can you still hear me?
Yes, you can.
Right, so I'm voice only for a moment.
You're still moving about. Now, John,
right. Okay.
Right, so we can still, John, what are you doing at your allotment in Christmas? What do you do there?
The allotment? Not a lot. It's too bloody cold.
Is it too cold? Well,
yeah. Hey, we had that really frosty day last week, yeah? And I went to the allotment and I did some work and my hands were absolutely frozen. Yeah. And I completely forgot I got a set of hand warmers in the boot. You know, one of these things you click the metal piece.
Yeah.
And I got home and opened the boot and thought, why the heck didn't I use them? Yeah. But there's not much you can do Christmas, really. Only sort of maintenance type work.
Yeah. I mean,
so we've talked about countries all over. We've been about Scotland. What about Drakeford packing it in as First Minister in Wales.
Looking at that, I was looking at Twitter.
I mean, he did give notice that he was planning to quit. So he quits in May, which gives them time to elect a new guy.
He's the most hated man in Wales.
He is the most
Is that because they're 20 mile an hour?
recognisable First Minister they've ever had.
Aye, and
He was thrown into the limelight due to your friend COVID.
And then the next thing, he's put in 20-mile zones everywhere, and they are not liking it.
It's been grossly misrepresented, though. I actually live in a 20-mile-an-hour zone. All I can tell you is it gets completely ignored.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to be putting a 20-mile next to mine, but I live in my bit's in a hill, and they come screaming down there.
Oh.
And I would welcome the police standing.
I live on the corner of a junction of two roads, and whichever way you go, it's uphill. Yeah, we're at the bottom, but nobody gives a monkeys about the 20 mile an hour. Yeah, because nobody enforces it.
No, it's very hard to enforce a 20-mile zone limit. So
Jeffrey Foskett, does the name mean anything to either of you?
Well, I do know because somebody says, "Who's Jeffrey Foskett? Is he playing in a band?"
Foskett.
Yeah.
He was lead guitarist in the Beach Boys. He died yesterday.
All right. Yes,
A band that all of us were probably old enough to remember being popular. Yes.
I'm trying to see what's trending on Twitter at the moment. Trending.
Right. Okay. News of the day. Tech news of the day. Before I forget.
Right.
One of the places you couldn't go live without having X number of followers and bowing down was Instagram. Instagram announced yesterday that if you have an Instagram Pro account, you can go live whenever you like. So in other words, Instagram is opening up. We can, if you've got a business account, Peter, John, you can actually go live on the site, and it's a total step up from recorded video.
Yeah.
And it's obviously an alternative to TikTok, and I can see it growing and growing. The only technical things you need to do is basically you just down the left-hand side on the menu, you've got post, and then it says go live, and when you press go live, you type in a title, so Blabbing for Britain. You then select your audience. You can either practice to go public, and then you need a piece of software to come in, like Be Live or Restream or OBS, and you can go live.
I wonder who's winning just now, TikTok or Instagram?
2 billion users on Instagram.
Pardon?
2 billion.
Right. What's on TikTok? Do you know?
I don't know. I checked the Instagram figures yesterday. There are 2.3 billion users, and there are 200 million business accounts. So technically speaking, 200 million can go live on Instagram as of yesterday.
Yeah.
It used to be.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There are 1.677 billion users globally. How many use it in Britain? There's 23.38 million per month in Britain use it.
Yeah. That's all the young ones.
Yeah. No, I've seen fellow pest control businesses on it, and I'm just watching what they do. Yeah. You know,
but Instagram's going to be an amazing place to go live and market. Yeah.
No, that is one where you can go on and sell products. If you get a cart, your own cart, you can sell that.
Well, yeah, you go on there with your pets if you want. But in terms of marketing, it's wide open now. They do have their quirks. The screen display, we are currently 1920 by 1080. They are sort of phone size, but they're not phone size. They're the wrong way around. They're that way up, Peter.
Yeah.
Which, you know, as soon as they go that way, life will be good. But it's there. I'm going to be trying it later today. because both Be Live and One Stream can go live there, no problem at all. Because
No,
it's all,
for ages now, I've hardly watched mainstream TV. I don't know why I've still got a BBC license. Still pay it. And now look, what do? I watch YouTube. But guess what? With my YouTube, I don't see any adverts because I pay £12 a month not to have adverts. Right? So it's interesting that they get the money with the £12 a month, or they get the money through the advertising revenue. And it's just, in reality, you should have your own. It's like getting your own advert, like John made for me, and playing it all the time on Facebook and things like that. But it's all about restriction and wanting to charge money for it now. You know, it's a hard game. Yeah, most people watch YouTube and Facebook, just 10-minute snippets, Instagram, TikTok, and it's just become oversaturated, I would think. What's your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I agree that there is too much of it, but there's a new toy now with Instagram, and that's where everybody should be heading to. If you create video, if you're creating content for your business, do it live.
Yeah, but the problem, who's watching it? What's the demographics of me doing my business, right? Mine's is from what? The average age of mine is about 35 up that use my service.
Yeah, I'm going to think that down the line that they'll actually allow you to target your audience.
Yeah, which Facebook do in your adverts, and because I can look at, it's quite interesting, but it's a hard. Mine's is still traditional marketing at the moment. Videos. It's
your favourite channel, GB News, has made an announcement while we were on.
All right, you better tell me.
They've announced that they've signed up to be available on Your View, which will give them an extra 2 million potential viewers.
Yes, but the problem they've got at the moment is they're not right. So how they'll be making money? I watch it on YouTube. I split the time. I watch them on YouTube and I watch them on the main telly when I watch it. So the problem they've got is advertising revenue, because from day one, people were scared to use them. So we get rubbish adverts from Wales and everything about gold. Sell your gold. I could read the script to you. I know it so well. So the problem is they're not getting the advertising revenue, and they're up cap in hand trying to get another 30 million, something like that, in order to keep going, because they're not getting the advertising revenue, what I'm looking at. However, Mr. Farage is on that program. He's built more people up, and it's a big. It's the same as talk radio news. It's on the telly now. They're not making money. Everybody's. If you look into them, they're all losing money. The BBC shares have dropped. The ITV, again, they're suffering because their pie's been sliced, and so that 2 million viewers or whatever it is, it's not going to give them extra revenue, maybe apart from going onto YouTube and watching, where they'll get a revenue for that.
Yeah, but maybe they must be getting some revenue from YouView. Yeah.
So they would pay them to go on their channel, you mean?
They becoming part of a built-in part of the YouView.
Right. So now you'll get people saying, "Now you've took on GB News, I'm leaving you." That's what'll happen next.
I've just got a notification that Angelica's charging her phone.
Okay.
Absolutely brilliant. Okay, John, it's over to you.
So it's time to go home today. Now, Peter, please think about your blood pressure, because it isn't doing you any good. So keep calm. Yeah. So it's goodbye from Wiltshire. It's goodbye from the West Midlands. And it's goodbye from that man in Aberdeen.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.